Hi, beautiful beings of light. This is Yana, and welcome to my YouTube channel here in the month of April 2022. And we are approaching the full moon this Saturday. So the energies are amping up, right? Very intense. We need to stay focused and just, be in our hearts, right? With the column of light shining bright, or, just focusing on. Ascension, I would say. Ascension, everything that evolves around it, and so we can make this world a better place. And I have the Ascension Guardian protocol, and we'll build upon my previous video. We talk about the diet, so I really love talking about Ayurvedic cooking, and it's not only cooking, it's just Ayurveda means the knowledge of life, how to be in harmony with yourself, with nature, with your environment. And I do love cooking, kitchen, working with spices, and just with the fruits and vegetables, the combination, right? Working with the seasons and have everything local and fresh from the farmers market, or from the stores. They have nice organic food, but the way to really do it is go back to Lumarian Diet, which is actually Ayurveda, to the macrobiotics, and going back to the garden, and the Garden of Eden. That's the Garden of Eden diet. And again, all the information, guys, you can find in this book. So for accelerated ascension, for feeling good, light, we need to embody as much light as possible. So the light diet, which is plant-based diet, but of course it takes time, transition. Like I said, my videos are mostly for, evolved souls, empath sensitives. But like, for example, Marina Jacobi, she's got Detox 101, people who were eating meat, how you need to slowly and surely eliminate the heavy meat and go really just eating fish. And actually the Lemurians, those who live close to rivers and lakes, right, because the ocean areas was not that accessible, they did have some fish if there was scarcity of food, which was not that often, and if somebody got really sick and needed nutrition. So all is well. You have to go with your intuition. You have to go with what flows with you. Again, I'm here to inspire you, empower you, and just kind of, this is my journey here. And being on that hero's journey, it takes lots of strength and courage. And I'm here sharing information with you guys, just to kind of maybe enlighten your situation, give sending you healing energies. We are also the light code activators, right? We're the light DNA activators, light code carriers, and so on. So bringing the wisdom, the knowledge here, knowledge based on direct experiences, but also, I have the wisdom knowledge that comes from the ancient ones, the rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains. And that's really my my path, my journey, of course, the ascension journey, right? And my background is yoga, Ayurveda, and 13 years ago, I was trying to introduce those teachings to the military wounded warriors, okay? And I didn't realize that you have to be kind of initiated. You have to then become a military person or a Marine, right? If you want to help the wounded ones, the MC, and so on. So here we go. Here we are, after more than a decade of then healing and transformation, because now, right, I am the Marine of the positive faction, so-called, or I'm the Marine of USA with the resurrected Constitution of 1776. We're connected to the golden eagle grid, right, the crystalline grid of Christos consciousness, Christ Sophia consciousness, and so on. And we are the different drummers. We're connecting to the Galactic command, the Ashtar command, the High command, and we're aligning with the universal laws, the law of one, and following God's will. Not my will, by then be done. And again, take only what resonates with you and leave the rest, okay? Remember, I'm sharing information with you, and how you guys then interpret what I'm conveying, right? It becomes your world, your reality, and what you do with it is your responsibility. We're very powerful co-creators with the divine. We're watching our thoughts, feelings, and actions and deeds, right? Because we're very powerful emitters, transmitters, and receivers of energies. We're 99.9% energy, 0.1% matter. We are sound, light, frequency, vibration. And here in this on this planet, in this atmosphere, right, we've been hijacked. The consciousness of humanity have been hijacked. We've been damped down, and you know, the entire space, or the fifth platonic solid, which is dodecahedron's, been also kind of damaged and hijacked. But now everything is correcting. The Holy Mother, Divine Mother is here. The solar rishis are also here in this dimension. That was December of 2020. We had the diamond sun DNA activated, right? Because the solar rishi came here. I think there was a newsletter from September 2020 from Lisa Renee, Energetic Synthesis. So you know, that's a person I really follow, and her knowledge helped me in my journey of healing, of resurrection, of transformation, and feel my wholeness and completeness once again. You know, we have the unity vow on my website. Also, you can find disclaimer on my website, yanakalai.com, under contact. There is also unity vow, and there's 12D shield, right? Part of my Ascension protocol. Those, you know, warriors, we've been dealing with those native aliens, and you know, in those extremely high places or densities, you know, the astral plane, the invisible plane, where 10 dimension, 11 dimension, right, corrupted, inverted, right, the phantom matrix, and also connected to the Visa matrix. Here we are resurrecting the 15 dimensional universal time matrix, the originally how it was designed by the solar rishis, right? The Christos founder races, you know, Satya Sai Baba, Mahatavar Babaji. I mean, they're the Blue Star born, you know, they are now, again, they're back here online, and they're helping us with the evolution, with the ascension, with the enlightenment, with the liberation, right? As we are transitioning, we're going to the next harmonic universe, number 2, right? Soul connection, consciousness expansion, living in peace, harmony, unity, equality, Christosophia consciousness. And those are even those energies here in April, right? Kind of solidifying ourselves in our strength, in our power of our soul, okay? And really, you know, moving forward, we still have to really go deep down, and you know, for me, it's just like no stone unturned, right? It's just, we have to really clean up the closets. We have to look at all the skeletons. I mean, I'm a shadow worker as well, guys, and we're exposing the corruption out there. But first, we have to totally heal and transform our shadow, whether it's from our ancestors, right, and so on, and you know, our karma, right? That's why it's very important watching everything, you know, our thoughts, what we are putting out there, it will come back as a boomerang, because now under the universal laws, law of cause and effect, everything is accounted for, right? But first, we have to really take care of ourselves. We have to, you know, remember who we truly are. You know, in the integration of the shadow is extremely important, integration of the polarity, so then we can be out there and be of service, right? Because we're dealing with the shadow government, the shadow military, and all the corruptions in all these corporations, whether it's pharma, medicine, right, even science, religion, education, entertainment industry, okay, just name it, and press and media, of course. And not recommended to watch the MSM. There's so many wonderful people on YouTube, right, and alternative news, but again, for me, the 3D, 4D, even the 5D narrative is not enough, because we've been infiltrated by extremely powerful aliens. I mean, the Dracos, the reptilians, and the Anunnaki, the fallen angelics, right? Of that negative faction. Remember, like, we have a good people of goodwill. They're also people, they're not choosing ascension. People don't want to look at their stuff, and it's not an easy thing, right? That's why we have to pray and meditate. So the same thing with the aliens. We have good ETs, right? Benevolent ETs. We have the Pleiadians, the Icturians, the Syrians, the Lyrans, the Andromedans. Okay, they're helping us here. Also, with the healing, with the bioregenesis, right? Cleansing our soil, our water, our air. This high council, right? Not the government, the corruption, and the Satanism, Luciferianism, sodomy, and black magic, witchcrafting. This is all coming online, and that's what I've experienced being close to military people, right? U.S. Army, and then you had the Marine Corps, and so on. So again, this is what I've observed, right? Those are my perception. I mean, like, even I said, I had they damaged my aura, my energy field, right, enormously. That's why yoga, 8 steps of yoga, and Ayurvedic diet helped me tremendously. I'm very thankful, grateful, because before that, right, I was already initiated. I had those teachings from Maya Tiwari, and of course, as a volunteer soul, we are highly evolved, advanced, remembering the time in Atlantis, Lemuria, as high priestess. I mean, those are the positive faction, of course, right? So it's all about reawakening our DNA, right? So please join us for the Unity Meditation with Sandra Walter, and being on the sun, nature, right? So again, I'm going to the beach. I found my crystals, so I'm going to take them with me and cleanse them in the ocean, okay? And I think this one is even for Lumarian, right? So they store all kinds of information. You can tune into the energies of the crystals, and of course, cleansing, clearing, saging, nakchampa, have a candle. I mean, for me, this is my sadhana. It means spiritual practice, right? We are spiritual beings having human experience. So very important to focusing on our soul, on our inner self, inner Christ, the Holy Spirit, Divine Mother, Holy Mother, our divine parents, right? The 3 Hearts meditation, guys, you can find on my website, yanakalai.com, under Ascension, right? Connecting to the crystal core of Mother Earth through our hearts, and through our hearts connecting to the cosmic heart of Father, Mother, God as well. And then, so we are overriding the base 10 mathematics of the archons, of the Dracos, right? The reptilians, the fallen Anunnaki, the fallen archangels, So we're going back to the universal trio of life, the base 12 mathematics, 12 strands of DNA, 12 dimensions, because they even mess up the sacred geometry, right? That's why the Metatronic reversals, they were messing up with our Platonic solids, messing up with the cube, right? With the icosahedron, with the tetrahedron, with the octahedron, and with the dodecahedron, because of highly advanced technology. And they were ripping holes in this Milky Way, the galaxy, and Galactic Codex, right? It's all going to divine justice. We have the New Earth jurisdiction implementing the Galactic Codex, and the universal laws, the natural laws, right? 13 principles of natural laws, Lisa Rene energetic synthesis, or you can go on my website, yanakalai.com, under about. What this is all about is a huge big revelations, how we've been dumbed down and living in this 3D matrix, the phantom matrix, on inversion and perversion, and everything backwards, right? Everything upside down, and they're very draining. They're siphoning our energies, the negative ones, right? The Cabal, the Illuminati. Some of them, guys, are nothing but a puppet of those the higher echelons in the invisible world of the Dracos, right? Human, non-human. So that's why I'm making those videos kind of for expansion of our consciousness, because what is happening in the physical world is because it was happening in those higher places. And what was happening here in a very brutal way, all these criminal activities, because it was directed from extremely high, those invisible astral planes of those negative ones, you know, they think they're so invisible, right? Even the grays, you know, or the zetas of the negative faction. I mean, there was a treaty, right, back in 1950s, and then, you know, the story, you know, all these experimentations and abductions and mutation of our DNA, and, you know, Nazism 4.0, right? And all these kind of, with the suspended constitution and doing trades, you know, the galactic slave trades in the moon, Mars, and so on. So the government would get the technology of the aliens, highly advanced technology, spaceships, spacecrafts, you know, time traveling machines, and who knows what else, right? Of course, with weapons, psychotronic weapons, all these exotic weapons, right? So you see the 5G towers, that's a part of, you know, actually it's a psychotronic weapon, right? That's how they can shoot extremely harmful energies through the 5G. And there is evidence, right? They even insert the plaque with CV19, right? And then they tell us that this is this pandemic, the flu, and then we have to wear this and get this with the nanobots, with the graphene oxide, so then we can be hooked to the cloud and being like robot, right? The transhumanism agenda, all these stuff. So guys, I'm just reiterating all these things, right? Just repeating. So thank you so much. So the diet, those who really kind of food, for me, food is medicine, and for me, you know, everybody's got their addictions or whatever they're interested, and I always love the gardens, and I always love the cooking. I mean, we used to bake, right, in my grandpa's place, and the fruits fresh from the garden, so there was so much beautiful energy, and I just kind of you know, feel the energies back online, and just very happy because this is how I grew up. And then of course when I was 7 years old, right, the black magic, and then when I became like teenager, the karma, the family karma kicked in, and I was in a very extremely dark places, and then coming over here to United States in 2000, right? You know what happened in 2001, and then being around then military people, so it was really a descending spiral, downward spiral, and I had to stay there for quite some time. And you know, there was like the Venus cycle. I think Laura Eisenhower talks about it as well. You know, we have to those who are, you know, the Indigo warriors, we have contract number 3. We go deep into the underworld, see what was happening, right? What in the world is going on, and then we have to, of course, report everything to those high places, the High Council, and the Ashtar Command, and the High Andromeda Council, and Galactic Council, and so on, so we can repair all that, right? And you know, we can heal and move to the next octave. So back to the garden, right? This is diet for ascending star seeds, right? So this is my group, my soul group, guys. This is not for everybody. Again, take what resonates with you, and you know, leave the rest. But those who are on the ascension path and the accelerated ascension, this is information for you. I'm here holding the light for those wounded warriors, right? My soul siblings, my soulmates, my family in the military who's been extremely wounded, tortured, raped, mind controlled, right? MK Ultra. You know, totally violated sexually, right? Sexually, emotionally, mentally, you know, on a soul level, that's the astral plane, and of course physically, right? The mind control substances, how it damages your DNA. So this all needs to be addressed, right? We need to acknowledge it, so then we can heal. I mean, we create, for me, is creating those communities, you know, with Pleiadians, with my family, with the Ashtar Command, and helping those guys get back on track. And that's why also I am actually working on a restaurant menu, you know, Ayurvedic diet, right? Ayurveda, a menu, Ayurvedic cooking. And so this was kind of my whether initiation. We had this beautiful workshop that was the Zoom conference call, right, on Ayurveda, and just talking about the food, the Ayurveda. Wow, it is my passion. I love it. So healing through food, right, through nutrition, through breath. Yoga, Ayurveda, through sadhana, spiritual practice, and through sound, light, sound. We are the light, sound, frequency, vibration, right? The sound bath healing, like crystal balls. I know that helped me. That helped me tremendously. So I want to create something like that for my community, for my soul tribe. And of course, everything under Galactic Codex, right? Under the law of one, free will, but we're going back to that 0 point, divine neutrality, the Trinity, right? Leaving the polarity, actually the duality that has been negatively polarized, right? Of the archons, the Chimera group, and the mafia. The black nobility mafia, as we are turning the table back to white nobility family, and not from black magic, but the mystic or the white magic, right? Where you have reverence to the divine and to Mother Nature, to cosmos, and to this planet, and all beings in the universe, right? The sentient beings. So compassion, right? Like I said, we're walking those energies of love and faith and trust and grace and gratitude, and be compassionate witness. So reason you are incarnated is for discovery. So I know probably it's difficult. I find very difficult for people to talk about themselves. For me, it's very natural, right? Through self-love, you can then forgive yourself. We have to kind of embrace things that we had to deal with, whether it's the shadow or the pain, the trauma, so then we can heal, right? There's nothing wrong about it. We've all been programmed mind control, so there is no reason to be ashamed or feeling guilty, or blaming ourselves, right? I mean, the judgment I can see is still huge, like judging people and criticism. I mean, it's part of human experience, but time to grow up, right? And just be compassionate and be forgiving. That's the way to go, right? Even Yeshua, right, was saying about the forgiveness, right? It's extremely important. Know yourself and be free, right? I am in this world, but not out of it. So I do, if you guys, want to kind of discover yourself, I mean, I have those 20 minutes, right, on the phone or on a Skype, discovery of self that includes health and how to live in the healthiest possible way. So there is one way I can be helping. Of course, everything is either love donation or is for free. Then I have this wonderful friend in California. If we need to have a Zoom conference, she's more than happy to assist us with that. As you know, I just only have a phone. I'm not crazy about computers and technology. Maybe when we get into that 10th dimension, like it was in the movie Avatar, right? That kind of technology, then I'm all about, where you can just manifest through your mind, and it's very fast. Here the 3D computers or 4D computers, right? Who owns that? Yeah, they're involved in pedophilia and Satanism and all this kind of stuff. So that's why I'm kind of even away from it. But of course, we're connecting now to the Pleiadians, and their highly advanced technology, and the quantum financial system, right? Free energy, Tesla towers, and the healing beds or med beds, right? So this is all coming online, and that's highly advanced technology. For that, guys, we need to have a pure mind, right? Pure thoughts being in our heart. So purifying our chakra system, right? Our heart center, especially our higher heart, which is a portal to the divine, to other dimensions, as we are multi-dimensional. So the journey is yours. There's only self, and that self is you. So everything is pretty much projection, is coming from us. Everything is a mirror, right? If we want to say something about others, remember it's a projection of us, right? So it's always good to remember that, because that's kind of the matrix or the programming of separate and divide. Somebody out there is hurting me. Of course, I mean, the pain, I can feel the pain because of the suppression and oppression of GMO, drugs and medications, and you know, you had to do some things against your will, and especially guys in the military, right? You couldn't say no. And so their light body, I mean their astral body, were hijacked, right? And that's what I saw, the upside down kind of thing of their aura, and very dirty, very filthy, very fragmented, and that's how they're being controlled, manipulated. So they have to transmute the shadow self, right, the shadow body, back into the light body, whether the bioregenesis, right, the kundalini rising, cleansing, clearing, purification of the chakra, so then they can connect to their spiritual self, because that's what blocks them, right? With all these holographic implants, chips in your occipital lobe, and you know, this you know, horrible programming and damage of the prefrontal cortex, right? The brain, they microwave the brain, you know, through the psychotronic weapons. That's how they being dumbed down. And so the brain doesn't work, they're just like a robots, right? And then even they put all kinds of holographic insert chips also in their astral plane, whenever, I mean, that would happen to me, and of course in your genitals, right? So they can control your second chakra, the sexual organs. That's the sex misery machine, and they had all this machinery in Moon, Mars, and they were actually exploiting us, right, and damaging the sexual energy and the energy of the dark matter, right? And they turn it into the Baphomet, and you know, dark mother, and you know, all these just inversions and perversions of the divine feminine, total bastardization of the divine feminine. That's what I've experienced, especially in the military. Okay, so we tend to have a compassionate diet, and that's for an ascending individual. The Ayurveda, macrobiotic, right? The Essenes and the Eastern societies, guys. So again, we are bringing the ancient knowledge back online. This is nothing new under the sun, right? As we are resurrecting the energies of Atlantis, you know, the Atlantis rising, right? Especially the Atlantis mind, and then resurrecting the energies of Lemuria, the Holy Mother, right, of that cosmic heart, of that divine heart. So, and so what these the Lumarian diet, it was uncooked diet. It was powdered and crushed roots made into flatbreads. They had occasional fish. It was wild salmon, eaten in times of scarcity or in times of illness when a deeper nourishment was needed. These people in Lemuria, they were living close to rivers and lakes. They regarded this as holy areas because of high vibration. I can even see it, right? Going to the beach, you know, the ocean and so on. Just walking on the beach, the water. It does. There's something that connects you to your heart, to your spirit. So, and then of course they were eating fruits. Right now we cannot find the fruits how we used to found them, and how we use that they had like a citrusy, they had like a combination of coconut and watermelon. That's those kind of fruits they had. And but now we have the citrus fruits, coconut milk, water, avocados, olives. I mean, that was their fruit diet. And veggies, vegetables, they're mineral-rich leaves, like leafy greens, right? And in Lemuria, the men ate more green plant materials and nuts, like the Brazil nuts, and the women ate more fruits and drank lots of fruit milk. And so now the new Lemuria is rising. You can even, you know, the books, the Telos, right? The new Lemuria revelations and the 5D protocol. So those are the Telos books, okay? It's all live in Lemuria. How to live in a peaceful, harmonious society. Simplicity, peace, compassion, unity, and love. With the intellectual, magical, and technological traits of the Atlanteans. Again, plant-based diet, right? The vegan diet was emphasized. Fruits, vegetables, sea vegetables, coconut milk, nuts, seeds, root veggies, beans, and herbs. Plus, of course, you know, there was the pescatarian diet with wild, sustainably caught salmon. Of course, at that time, the rivers and the oceans was pristine clean. Right now, we have to deal with all kinds of heavy metals and GMOs and nanobots and pollution, right, coming from the chemtrails and so on, just horrible chemicals in the atmosphere, in the water, in the ocean, and did I say in the soil, everywhere. So, and they preferred goat milk. Okay, it was because it was more in harmony with the ascending light body. Guys, the milk from the cow actually is not suitable for the ascending star seed and even for your light body. It is what it is. That's what the book, right, was mentioning. Actually, Magenta Pixie is channeling this information from the Wide Wing Collective of 9. Okay, and she's an expert, in channeling. She does an incredible job, and again, I resonate with it. Again, only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Okay, and if the milk was freely given by the mother goat, the same thing with honey, right? I mean, if the bees, they take care of themselves, and the caretaker who's taking care of the hives only takes just whatever, the bees don't need anymore, then it's a free karma honey. It's raw, unfiltered, right? And make sure it's a local, right? And you know how to use it properly. In Ayurveda, there are some things like you don't cook with honey, and you don't combine ghee with honey. Okay, so there are some rules, some regulations, and there's a science behind it as well. God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruits with seed in it. They will be yours for food. Genesis 1:29. So you even see this vegetarian diet or the Lumarian diet, the Garden of Eden mentioned in the Bible, even though my story regarding Bible, so there's so much distortion and misinformation regarding the Essenes, Yahshua's teachings, and so on. Mostly the history is all about those fallen ones, the Anunnaki and the master raider races, and they're just laughing and attacking God and the divine that is within us, because they themselves, some of them are nothing but empty vessels, right? They have black heart, the Anubis heart, and they're disconnected from God, from source. They are parasites, they are vampires, right? And that's why they need us, right? Humans as batteries, and also they need children, right? Drinking their adrenochrome, and of course they needed to do the satanic ritual abuses, and like in Hollywood, right? The entertainment industry, and these people have mansions, and they have villas, and they have all this money, right? So we need to turn it around, the tables is turning, right? The changing of the guards, those who are the guardians, those who are on the ascension, those who are here to heal, the planetary healers, right? We are now provided. There are so many empty homes, so many empty mansions, and so of course it needs to be cleansed and purified, what I'm saying, and make communities, make some healing centers out of those buildings and those places, and make this world a better place, make America great again, right? And I've emphasized the state of New York, and the city. New York is the city of fire. New York is the purity God desires. And if those guys in the military, they think I'm a Marine veteran, then I'm a Marine of fire. I am the purity God desires. Okay, so we're changing the entire infrastructure, and of course the etheric architecture is being changed as well, right? With the Albion body, with the new crystalline grid. Ooh, all these birds flying above the sky. So it is, and it is. The change is here, guys. So keep the good work. Keep yourself centered, hydrated, right? In nature, meditation, and be thankful, be grateful. Know that all is well. So here they kind of mention something about the caffeine, because people are addicted, right, to sugar, to caffeine, to alcohol. Okay, and then we have the mind altering substances and so on. So here only a small amount of green tea is recommended. Okay, if you want to have that full Stargate ascension, because it can interfere with building natural light speed momentum, the blue star fire. Again, this is all explained here in this wonderful book. Sugar, only coconut sugar, good quality maple syrup, because it holds high energy signature and can be utilized with negative karmic energy. Well, like cooking with maple syrup, cooking with applesauce, the white sugar, let me see, where is it? Refined sugar stripped of all nutrients, life force, and health giving properties. It dims the light within and prevents the plasmic energy light from being conducted. Too much sugar, an individual becomes a vibrational match to any passing negative entity through tears and rips in the aura and in the time space. Okay, so people, you already, dumb down, abuse and violence, it creates all kinds of aura in your energy field. That's why it's a perfect, for those negative entities to attach to you, right? And then eating all this sugar and so on, you guys, you're open even to more of those negative entities, right? And the alcohol, there's a fermented sugar, again, if it's done properly, right? You have plants and fruits, and it's for medicinal purposes, for vision. Okay, this is all good. Same thing for cannabis or marijuana, as long as you use it for healing purposes. So you can rebuild yourself and start using your DMT, right? And start using your mind and your natural hormones, and your emotions are being rebalanced, then time to quit. But again, the abuse, right, of the drugs, of marijuana, of sugar or alcohol, guys, you're just opening portals to those negative energies and to those negative ones, and being mind controlled and dumbed down. And then without any life force energy, and the aging kicks in, disease kicks in, all kinds of illnesses, right, kicks in. So that's kind of the story around it. Honey, only if the honey is freely given from the bees, right? So it can be karma free. And remember, we are here on a karma free journey, right? Karma free diet, which is the plant-based diet. Raw honey, such as manuka, right, is recommended. It's a conductor for plasmic light as the DNA activates for ascension. Milk from the coconut holds the ability to conduct plasmic light. Transdermal magnesium, Epsom salt, right, Himalayan sea salt, magnesium oil, guys, this is perfect now. Either to use as an Epsom bath salt. I just use, because I don't do baths, so I just kind of rub it on my skin, right, and then shower off. And even my hair change, I don't know whether it's from the sun, from the ocean, but I use it for my hair as well. If you have garden, you can even use a little bit of that Epsom salt around your plants, because you can get your magnesium and your nutrients, because it's been devoid, right? Everything the negative ones they did. A food industry also contaminated, processed food, right? Look how the animals are being treated. They're all slaughter, total slaughter. Okay, and then of course human and children, right? All these murders and so on. So divine justice, Galactic Codex, right? You can find it on my website yanakalai.com, and credo for the new earth jurisdiction, right? Implementing the Galactic Codex, natural law. We're going giving everything to divine justice, right? Everything is accounted for, and we have to look into everything. Everything has to be acknowledged in order to be transformed, okay, and brought back into light. The unconscious into conscious, right? I forgot to center ourselves, right? Today I was just meditating, connecting with my heart, and of course to Mother Earth, and my star family, my galactic family, my higher self, my oversoul, my avatar self, a cosmic heart of Father, Mother, God. Of course, I close my eyes, feel my third eye and my pineal gland, and my skull lights up, and also my DNA, right, is being activated and just full of light around me. And I always remember, invoke the violet flame, yeah, And this morning I did Om Namah Shivaya 108 times. Shiva Shiva, Lord Shiva. Very thankful, grateful for helping me with this whole thing, with my mission, right? With my assignment, going deep down into the underworld, into darkness, being abused, violated by, the military of the negative faction, right? The black nobility, the mafia, the elite of the negative fleet, the echelon, right? So bring everything into justice while hearing myself and transforming all these energies. And I chanted this mantra: Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Lord, lead me from the unknown into the known. It means from the unconscious into the conscious. Lord, please lead me from the darkness into the light and into the truth, right? From Kali Yuga into Satya Yuga. Lord, please lead me from mortality, right? From this illusion into immortality, into the truth, into the true reality, to the eternal flame that we hold within that sacred chamber of our hearts. Amen. I just wanted to share with you guys. It was a very powerful meditation this morning. So, and blackstrap molasses with nutrients, healing in pure and clean form. Because what they do, right, with the sugar, they start heating it. And then, the molasses still has some nutrients and healing properties. But then the refined sugar, I already told you, is stripped of all nutrients, and they even add bleach. They bleach it like they bleach flour, right? So that's why I always read the ingredients. The flour, sugar. I mean, if you're doing baking Ayurveda is not recommended either, okay? Not much, just a little bit. It's all about steaming, right? A little bit of cooking, or saute, making khichdi. That's a fusion. It's a marriage of basmati rice with mung beans, okay, with cooking with ghee or with coconut oil. And then you're heating spices like cumin, right? And you add it to the mixture, to the food. So natural sugar contained within the fresh, unspoiled, unaltered fruits. Okay, so that's why we don't need to consume any sugar. So I make sure, right, there's not even cane sugar. Some of nice products, organic, they still add sugar. Even though it's natural, it's organic. I mean, that's why if they only say sugar, it's the white sugar. You don't want to have nothing to do with it, right? I mean, if you're here for ascension and feeling good and activation of DNA. So the waters within the fruits act as mini conductors of plasmic light energy in themselves, and they do this through cleansing the system and opening the pathways through the body to act as conduits of light. So, and that's how high vibration formation of the light body, that's how our light body grows, expands, right? And from that light body, we're going into crystalline body, and plasma light body, because we already been inundated with all these plasma light codes and frequencies, gamma rays frequencies, right? So it's all about tuning in, doing the inner work. People have ascension symptoms, don't worry about it. I mean, just keep your faith, keep going, praying, meditating, trusting yourself, believing in yourself, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, and be compassionate with everything that's been happening, transpiring, or that happened to you, okay? Just be full of love, because that's how we make the difference, right? And that's what love is all about, right? Love creates, and love makes all the changes possible. Everything is possible through love, right? God is love. Love is God, our creator. So fruits, they have a cleansing and clearing properties, and vegetables, they are more nourishing and balancing. And so while ascending, you're accessing higher dimensional information and true memory, having this Lumarian light diet, vegan light diet, right? So partial ascension, those are for people who are still holding uncleared, unknown, unresolved, and buried trauma. And that's what I'm going to deal with, right? My star family and the Indigo warriors in the military extremely abused and violated. So I'm very happy to read all about that, because the trauma codes attract the mind altering substances, but they were forced, right, to be on LSD. And you know, the experimentations, right, since 1950s, because the Project Paperclip, right, the Nazis, the Gestapo came over here, and was it Dr. Mandela, or you know, the criminals actually came over here and continued this horrible experimentation. It was done in those death camps, concentration camps back in Europe, right? That's where I come from, you know, the Jews going to gas chambers. So people think, oh, now the war, the second war ended. No, it actually continued in those underground military bases here in the United States and all across the globe. Okay, so we need to arrest this. And then, of course, the treaty in 1950s, and then the creation of the interplanetary galactic conglomerates, and the three-letter agencies are connected to the Dark Fleet, right? And doing all these trades with those black dragons, right? You know, the black nobility mafia, the black moth dragon, you know, the whole network. And galactic slave trade, and of this off-world civilizations, and just wreaking havoc in the entire solar system and planet on this planet. So that's is arrested, right? And they were informed, they were told, they were warned. Okay. So again, so this is again my story, guys. Take only what resonates with you. So it's time for those guys to transfer to natural mind-altering substances like the cannabis, magic mushroom, right? Ayahuasca, peyote. Actually, I don't even know what that means. It's procured with love and focus, intention, grace, okay? For vision quest, for awakening, for pineal gland activation, for astral travel, lucid dreaming, but make sure you get protection, right? Very important to protect yourself, protect your field. Deep meditation, deep insightful magical work and manifestation. And only up to a point, right? Only up to a point, you know, then you open your portals to higher realms. So this is a good karma. But once the point is passed, right, the substance begins to work negatively, and the fear-based anxiety pathways are triggered. That's why we have the Pleiadians, you know, with their highly advanced technology, even helping us, to harmonize the horrible impacts of the mind control, right? Because they're just destroying the bioneurology, the DNA, you know. Again, if the DNA has been destroyed, more than 70%, you know, the only way to go back to God, to source, is through implosion, okay? Become a space dust with no memory recall, okay? So that's what some of those, the elite of the negative fleet, probably will be facing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the good guys, they measure everything, right? They have highly advanced technology, you know, super quantum computers, just like, you know, the negative elite, right? But they were using all these high advanced technology for damage, for destruction, all these criminal activities, right? And then, of course, making those in a visible world responsible, right? The guys in the military, you can see a hanged Marine, or they put them in a prison, and now they're being judged. But look what happened to them from those, you know, astral places, from those the higher echelon places of the invisible world. I know that because it was done to me. I know what was happening and what this is all about, right? That's why they were trying to dispose of this body, get rid of me, because they cannot control me, right? They could never control me. You know, you cannot control consciousness, you cannot control God. You know, they can hate God as much as they want, right? Not really realizing that they're separating from light even more and more, going deep into the darkness. And so for them, the path is of self-destruction, right? Goodbye. So here we're going back to God, to source, to Trinity, to that 0-point balance, divine neutrality, the middle path, the yellow brick road. Okay, it's Buddhism, Okay, and that's how we reach the ascension, right? That's how we ascend, you know, the transition and the transcendence, right? When we integrate those polarities, then we can be above the matrix and just watching, observing, and, you know, being that new earth. That's why we are here, to start creating the new earth, right? Projects, humanitarian projects, being of service, and so on. So the inner golden substance, right, creates within you blue starfire, which is light speed momentum needed for accelerated or stargate ascension. And so let me see, it has to do with the inner gold, the DMT, the Holy Grail, right? And so to create your own natural mind altering substance within, right? So you can use, because I was never attracted to drugs and experience with these things. I kind of somehow maybe it's the family lineage, you know, those guys are they're emotional, right? And they have you know, addictions and the astral field damaged, right? And they have very codependent personalities. Okay, and so you know, start using the natural mind altering substances, and so you can create your own natural mind altering substances within. And here we call it mana, ambrosia, right? The sacred fire, guys. And that's why, you know, the golden age, right? That's how we can heal, we can transform. It's all about raising the frequency vibration. Mother Nature, Mother Earth is with us. The Galactics are with us, right? The Pleiadians with their highly advanced technologies, their millions of spaceships, spacecraft in this atmosphere, you know, in this galaxy, and so on. It's you know, time to also reunite and rejoice, and to know that all is well. So hope I inspire you today, and I'll talk to you next time. Many blessings and namaste. Bye bye.